Hey guys, it's Alex Bertson, the Manic Scholar, back again with another Michael chart. Today we're looking at Paramahansa Yogananda, who is the founder of the Self Realization Fellowship. And he also wrote the autobiography of a yogi, which was uh, a really popular work. Even Steve Jobs had his book as his only book on his uh, iBook app on his iPad. And at his funeral, he gave away copies of Autobiography of a Yogi to everybody who attended his funeral. But so yeah, we're gonna look into his chart in the Michael teachings. And if you don't know what Michael teachings is, it's a channeled body of knowledge that talks about our soul types called roles, and tells us about where we are in our reincarnational cycle, what lessons we're learning right now. Tells us stuff about uh, our global job and community responsibility, as well as our goal for this life, um, among other things. So there's two aspects to a chart. There's essence and overleaves. So essence is the aspect of yourself that stays the same throughout your whole reincarnational cycle on Earth. And the overleaves are characteristics that you take on for this life in particular. So they overlay your essence essentially. So, so Paramahansa Yogananda's role is priest, and he has a lot of priest secondaries too. So he's out of all the charts I've seen, he has the most priest in his chart. So yeah, he's got the role priest. He's got an essence twin that's a priest, who is actually a close disciple of his, apparently. Um, he has cadence and greater cadence that are both priests. So he's really focused on those priest qualities, which is wanting to see people grow spiritually, and maximize growth. Focus on the higher things, um, which makes a lot of sense because he was a yogi and he brought a lot of Eastern ideas to the West and started his own uh, uh, foundation or fellowship called Self Realization Fellowship. So that's pretty cool to see that that's really strong. He has a task companion that's server, which is also on the inspiration axis, but this can help with his one-on-one nurturing and caring characteristics. He's in the Cadre 3 Entity 2, which is the same one as Osho, as well as Shepard Hoodwin, who's the Michael channel who channeled this chart. Um, so that's pretty cool to see. He has two orientations, truth and energy. So he's focused mainly on the intellectual aspect of things as well as the physical or energetic aspects of things. Those are the domains he's mostly focused on. Which is interesting because he's a priest, which is all about the emotions. So he's going to have a mix of different things going on here. His male female energy balance is 54-46, so he's slightly leaning more towards the male, single pointed focus, going towards action kind of approach. It's more on the doing side as opposed to the being side, but he's pretty close to the middle at 54-46, so he's got both going on. His frequency is 31, which is actually a lower frequency. So he takes his time, is more steady pace with how he goes through things, a little bit more grounded in his energy, than the higher frequency people would be. His previous cycles he has 14 previous cycles. And a cycle is how many times you've completed the whole reincarnational cycle on one planet, going through all the different soul ages. And to do one cycle, it takes about 100 to 200 lives of reincarnating. So to look at this overall, he's had probably, on average, it's 100 to 200 lives per cycle. So this would be 1,400 to 2,800 lives on an average. Um, for him having 14 previous cycles, so it's a lot. It's actually the same amount of previous cycles that Buddha had. So he's pretty advanced. He's had a lot of experience being different roles and trying out different planets. He's been doing this for a while, so that's pretty cool to see. Um, so his global job and community responsibility are cooperation and competence. The cooperation is a mix of sage and warrior role energies. So there's a communication aspect to the cooperation, which is needed to get everybody to get on the same page, and the warrior aspect is focused on production. So it's about learning how to get people to cooperate together so you can get stuff done, and progress and advance society. Um, and I was reading about it. And it was saying this is a really intense global job because it's actually really needed in the world in every lifetime that the person's living. So the cooperation thing is going to be a big thing. And the competence is a mix of warrior and scholar. So it's got a lot of warrior characteristics there. Competence is about working hard and producing. That's a big warrior theme going on. Um, so yeah, that's what we see for his global job and community responsibility. So all that stuff that I just covered is going to be the same for him in all his lives on Earth. He's going to have the same configuration here. So he's super heavy on the priest. He's always going to have this focus on cooperation and competence. And he also has a little bit of scholar going on too, which helps with studying things and accumulating knowledge and organizing information for the world. So he's got some of those characteristics too. So now we'll look at his overleaves. So his soul age is old level 4. If we look at the soul age timeline again, um, old level 4, this is the last soul age in the reincarnational cycle. There's 2 more soul ages that happen on the higher planes once you're done incarnating, but he's getting to the end of the reincarnational cycle at level 4. So at level 4, he's been in the old soul age for a while. He's comfortable with how it works, and he's really expressing from it. He's solid in that perspective at this point, which is about building context and understanding for how the world works, how you understand the world, and then teaching other people what you've learned. So that's a big theme of the old soul age is uh, sharing your experience with other people of what you've learned throughout your whole reincarnational cycle. So that was his soul age. He probably has like 10 lives left. 10 10, 15 maybe. I don't know for sure, but that's just kind of on average how many more you would have being at old level 4. Once you get to old level 7, then you stop incarnating. Okay, so now we'll talk about his goal, attitude, and mode. So his goal for this life is growth, which is the most common goal. It's really self karmic, a lot of focus on self, but it deals with having a lot of different kinds of experiences and having a lot of activity um, to be in growth. Um, it's sliding into reevaluation, so sometimes he would have periods where he's isolating himself from the world to uncover and deal with past life issues that still need to be resolved. So it's kind of an inward focused time, but most of it is growth, which is a lot of action in the world and doing a lot of stuff. His attitude is idealist, so it's about seeing the world in its ideal state and trying to work hard to uh, manifest that world as you see it in the ideal. So that's his attitude. Mode is observation, which is the neutral mode. where he releases his energy neutrally and just takes in his surroundings and observes what's going on to learn about things. Um, so that's the combination of his goal, attitude, and mode. Each of these are on different axes. The growth goal is inspiration. Idealist is the natural attitude overleaf for sage. So that's on the expression axis, and observation is the neutral one, like that aligns with scholar. So yeah, that's his goal, attitude, mode. His centering is primarily intellectual and secondarily emotional. So basically, he filters all his experience primarily through his intellect, and then that informs his emotional state. Um, so his obstacle, there was only one obstacle that was listed on his chart, which is stubbornness, which is a fear of change. If there's a lot of chaos, maybe when you're younger, that it was uncomfortable to come over, to get over. That would be what stubbornness represents. And each person is going to have the obstacle to different levels of intensity. Some people have worked more on their obstacle, while others have a lot more work to do on the obstacle. But it's something that makes the life a little bit more challenging to experience. It gives us something to work on. Otherwise, things would be too easy. So his body types are mercurial and lunar. Mercurial body type is the communication body type. It's most focused on communication. Very intellectual. It's mercurial. So it aligns with the planet Mercury. And then lunar is also very emotional and introspective and reflective. Um, but the archetype for that is the genius. So they say that people with lunar body types can excel at abstract thought. So he's got some communication and emotional sensitivity going on here with the body types. His quadrant is knowledge, so he's the one that provides knowledge in a group setting. He's the one telling everybody the information of what he's gathered and providing it to other people. And his needs are adventure, freedom, and expression. So that's all the things on his chart. The biggest things we can see here is he's an old priest, really heavy on the priest. He's got some of this warrior focus and productivity going on with his global job and community responsibility, as well as some sage communication focus kind of things, and some scholar studying and learning aspects of things. And then he has a scholar in his essence as his cadence position. So studying was also one of his main characteristics here. Old soul age, like I said, and goal of growth. So he had a very busy life, did a lot of stuff. Idealist, which really fits with him trying to work hard to achieve the world as he sees it through his foundations that he set up. And that's pretty much it. So I was thinking I was going to do this week, do a little bit more of a deeper dive into Yogananda's charts. So this is this Michael chart, but I'm also going to do his Vedic astrology chart and his human design gene keys charts. I think I'll do a video for each one of those separately. So if you want to learn more about Yogananda, and his charts, you'll have that resource for you. I might start doing that every week, looking at every different system with one person, if that information is available to look at, like the birth chart, or if I have the Michael chart already or not. So I'm going to do, different videos on each of those different systems. Michael teachings, Vedic astrology, and human design gene keys. That's kind of the main focus of the charts that I'm focusing on. So that's it, guys. I'm going to have some more videos coming up. So please like and subscribe if you like this stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Manic Scholar out.